Hello! Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on when you're watching this latest episode of A Slice of Fried Gold. My name's Paddy.
And I'm Ben.
See, I'm on it. I've been thinking about these intros, man. I'm on it.
As long as you don't rip off Good Morning Vietnam.
Good morning, Vietnam! Oh, dear.
Well, now you can't use that again for another time, so you've ruined you. You played yourself, Paddy. You played yourself.
I wasn't going to do that. I didn't even think of that one, to be fair.
What?
So, I know.
I need to think of different intros, and you don't think of ripping off Good Morning Vietnam.
I know.
Hang your head in shame,
well, considering this is like we're in the 60s, and this is going well, so I'd like to think that maybe in 60 episodes' time, I might be able to reuse it, because nobody will watch this one.
No one ever watches them anyway.
This is very true. But
Carry on with your introduction.
But we continue. Like I said, I'm Paddy.
I'm Ben.
That's Ben. If you're joining us for the first time on YouTube, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel.
What did you just say?
If you're joining us for the first time on YouTube.
It did not sound like you said YouTube. It sounded like you said YouTube.
What, YouTube? I'm getting very confused now.
Anyway, carry on.
Carry on.
Professional.
Like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below on this week's topics, and if you're listening to us on Spotify, do give us a 5-star review and comment down below there as well. With that all being said, Ben, how are you?
Yes, so it's been a fun few days at work.
Okay.
So for many people who don't work in shipping wouldn't know, the government has brought in some new import controls.
Right.
And oh my god, it's been hell on. The import controls are purely for food and plants. Now remember what I deal with.
Yeah, food.
Food and plants.
Yeah.
And they were like, right, this is going live on this date. And so we told our customers, by the way, this is happening, it's going live on this date. Whatever you do, do not ship stuff on that day. Rule number 1 on anything ever going live, it goes wrong.
Yeah. So what do they do?
They ship stuff.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
And then the following day, they're like, why has it got stuck at the port? It's supposed to be delivered today. I need this stock for my customer. Why has it got stuck? And literally every 20 minutes, has it cleared yet? Has it cleared yet? Has it cleared yet? And it's like, no! Because the new system has gone live. There's a, surprise, there's a bug in it. And it's not working. Classic. You learn it from Assassin's Creed Unity. You don't buy things, or you don't, when a game goes live, you don't instantly go on that game because there's going to be bugs, there's going to be issues.
Yeah.
When a new import system goes live, you do not import stuff because there's going to be issues.
Yeah. That game killed my love of the franchise.
Yeah. The only game in the past 3-4 years that I have played on release date was Hogwarts Legacy, because I cannot be myself and not.
I had to do it.
I had to do it. And I was literally sat there, and I was like, if there is bugs, we ignore, because this is Hogwarts.
Bugs be damned.
Bugs be okay. So that's been fun for the last few days at work.
Oh, wow.
Driving up to the cinema today, there was some cranky people on the road.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So there was these two cars, and one would overtake the other,
yes,
and then pull in and slow down, and then they were literally annoying each other, and then when they caught up with another car, whoever was in front would go into the right-hand lane and proper slow down to be in the speed of that car, and you could, I could feel the anger, I was 6 cars away, and I could feel the anger between them, and the animosity.
Oh my god.
And then there was another guy sitting in the left-hand lane doing his thing. You can let go of that, it's fine.
It's alright. It's doing its job.
Sitting in the left-hand lane, and every time someone came to overtake him, he'd pull into the right-hand lane.
Nice.
And then they would, pull in the left-hand lane, undertake him. He would then pull back over into the left-hand lane, and the next time someone caught up with him, he'd pull in the right-hand lane again. It was like, how small does your dick need to be that you don't want someone overtaking you?
Oh, right.
How tiny must your dick be that you feel threatened by someone overtaking you?
Yeah.
And the final discovery of the week is, you remember a couple of episodes ago when we watched a horror film, and then I told you about next door's movement light? Yes. And how it played a game on me, on how, it decided to cut out when I was trying to get back into my front door. Well, the light is playing a game with me again.
Okay.
But instead of cutting out on me, it's on 24/7.
Oh, wow.
And this is when I've discovered that light, my hallway window, and my bedroom door are all perfectly lined up. And so now I have this lovely halo around my bedroom door when I'm trying to sleep.
Beautiful.
I am not happy, to the point where I'm considering buying a slingshot. Like, I've even thought, do I be that Karen? Do I be that guy and go knock on next door and be like, can you turn your light off, please?
You should.
I should. But then also, buying a slingshot and just,
Well, I still think you should at least ask first.
No. You ready for this?
Okay.
Buy a slingshot, wait for another storm, pebble into the thing. No, there must be a storm. Whoa!
Rogue pebble.
Oh, who could have thought of it?
Dear. Yeah.
I personally think that's the better idea.
I feel like that could work.
But yeah, I've not been getting good night's sleeps recently.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because there's just this constant, and it's an LED light as well.
It's like a proper white light.
White, bright light.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I've not been sleeping well recently.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Maybe I need to do what you do and invest in a blindfold.
Oh mate, a night mask has saved my life.
No.
So good.
I think I've been too corrupted and twisted, so
okay.
I've been putting it on, trying to go sleep, and I'm like, daddy.
Ooh, tease me.
I'll be like, oh no, now's not the time for sleeping.
It's time. I can't take it any further. Oh, Christ.
Oh, brilliant. So yeah, that's been me. How are you?
Apparently I've been fine, considering the way your week's been. Jesus.
It's not been good, I'll tell you that much.
Right, blimey. Yeah, I've been alright. We've had a busy few days, kind of. I still can't get my head around everybody has money apart from me and they're willing to be spending it. But
well, I don't have money either, so you're not alone.
It's crazy, crazy what's going on with it. In the realms of those things, I haven't really had much going on. It's just been office as usual. Busy, not a lot going on. But there was something I wanted to bring up.
Go on.
Before we talk about movie review, because we have now had the end of Traitors Season 2.
We have.
And we have not discussed.
Okay.
So, obviously, what an amazing series it was. I thought, and it's been a few weeks, so I think spoilers is fine. The internet is already riddled with it anyway.
Yeah.
But obviously, for those who don't want to know, spin on a couple of minutes. But obviously, Harry played a blinder of the game.
No.
And won.
Disagree.
Oh, do you disagree?
He got lucky.
He
got lucky.
I don't know. I think he did.
Paul pulled the strings.
Yeah.
For the first half.
Yeah.
Harry then decided to throw Paul under the bus, and from that moment on, he got lucky.
I don't know if he got lucky. I feel like there was some elements of luck, but I also do think that he was clever in doing some bits, like bringing in Ross and things like that to use him as a scapegoat. And not necessarily him being a scapegoat literally the next day.
But what I'm saying, when I say he got lucky, is when he brought in Ross to use him as a scapegoat. He then, he brings in Ross, he then uses the story of, I got a shield, so they must have tried to murder me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Had Ross not taken it, had Ross agreed, not taken the offer and stayed faithful, he wouldn't have been able to use the shield thing. Or if he had tried to use the shield thing, Ross could have been, well, actually, no. They tried to recruit me, and I said no. Thereby solidifying Ross as a faithful.
Yeah.
And
well, that's what Ross should have done. In the grand scheme of things, he should have come in. But then Harry wouldn't have used that shield thing because he would have known that Ross wouldn't have joined because they come and join that evening, don't they? So that's what I'm saying.
But considering everyone was starting to suspect Ross, even though he was a faithful at the time and they started to suspect him, had he come in and gone, they tried to recruit me, I said no, that would have confirmed, we don't need to go down that channel anymore. We can start looking at someone else. And who knows? The dial may have swung to Harry. We don't know because that never happened.
But he did. It's also
so he got lucky.
Well, it's not lucky. It's a risk, isn't it? It's the thing that it's
a risk, and it paid off.
Exactly. It couldn't have done, or Ross could have easily just said, "Oh, I'm a faithful," but then Harry still had Andrew to fall back on because people were pointing at Andrew. So,
but once again, Andrew could have once again rejected it, said, "No, I'm a faithful."
but that was earlier on though. That wasn't even down to Harry.
And also,
that was
I don't think Andrew believed he could say no. Like when in the confessionals, he said something, and it sounded like he truly believed.
Maybe
it was that whole,
but
because he said something like, "Oh, well, are you either going to recruit me or you're going to kill me the next night?"
Well, yeah, basically, let's face it, because that's unless he got a shield, they're going to be like, "Well, we might as well kill you then if you're not going to join us." So he's not wrong in that sense.
No.
So I feel like that they could have easily done that and just gone because he would have like you said, he would have gone down for breakfast. Traitors tried to recruit me last night. I'm not. I obviously have said no. The likelihood is I'm going to die tonight.
Okay, so maybe for Andrew, he played the right choice. But for Ross, because it was so late in the game...
Yeah, Ross made the mistake. Ross shouldn't have done that. No. He should have stayed a faithful. Anyway. And especially to be a traitor for 24 hours. Yeah. That was unlucky. Yeah. But how did you think... Because you obviously only recently binged the first season.
Yes.
How do you think seasons compared?
I noticed how in season 1 the traitors were a lot more faithful to one another.
Yeah,
a
lot of backstabbing this season.
In between, all the missions and everything, whenever a traitor's name came up in the first season, all the traitors would instantly be like, "No, I've been talking to them in that," and so instantly the traitors shut it down.
Yeah.
Whereas in this one, the moment someone said a traitor's name, the traitor who was in the room was like, "Ooh, now I've got to..." And literally, it was throw under the bus, throw under the bus, throw under the bus, throw under the bus.
But I do feel like this season, everybody was playing more for themselves. There wasn't any
100%.
factions.
No.
First season, people were grouped together and would stick with their people.
Yeah.
Where this, everybody was in for themselves.
You had little duos.
But even Diane and Ross weren't even a duo.
No.
And they were mother and son. That was
Yeah.
I thought that was good.
You had Paul and Charlotte.
Yeah.
You had
Harry and
Molly.
Yeah.
There was one with, was it Zach and Kyra?
Yeah.
But that one ended quite quickly because Kyra got killed off very, very early.
Yeah.
But it was more little duos rather than actual cliques.
Yeah. Everybody was very, very... And to be fair, even people like Zach, he might not have been going around it the right way, but he was saying at the round table every time they got faithful out, he was like, "How are we supposed to get out traitors if we're all fighting against ourselves?"
Yeah.
And I think that was the downfall with the faithfuls this season, was that everybody, and yes, you have to have that level of suspicion about everybody because you don't truly know, but also you do also have to have a level of trust and think, is this traitors playing against each other, or is it, or are we just delving too deep into it?
Yeah.
But I thought it was a very good season.
It was a good season. It had me shouting at the TV again,
Yeah, there was plenty of that.
And you know what? I was shouting at the TV over Jazz, not Molly.
Really?
Yeah. Because he was on the case. He was methodically working it out.
Yeah.
And he had the evidence. He had the answers.
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, I'm not ready to play it yet. I'm not ready to play it yet. I'm not ready to play it yet." And then by the time he played it, it's too late.
Yeah. He should have played it 2 round tables before that.
Yeah.
And started sowing seeds.
Yeah.
And I think
I get where he's coming from because they now do a podcast.
Yeah, I haven't watched that.
I only watched the one after the finale, and he basically said I didn't want to play it too early because, of course, they could just spin it back on me, and people had already accused me of being a traitor. So it's like, okay, fine, you were playing it cautious, but you played it way too cautious, and you still lost.
But I'm kind of glad that he still put out there. He got to that point where he started fucking with Molly's mind.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Come on, Molly."
I mean, I also shouted at the screen over Molly because it's like, if he's the one who's chosen to vote again, why would he choose to vote again if he was the only traitor left?
Yeah, exactly.
Unless, and in that moment, Molly should have gone, right, either they are both traitors and I'm screwed here.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get Harry out so he can have all the money to himself. Or Harry's the traitor. Why she chose... Well, I know why she chose it, but... you know, but before we go any further about this, I hear that she's had to come off social media because people have been bullying on her.
It's
That's
disgusting.
Not fair. It's not, you know, it's a game. You know, when I knew when we were going to discuss this, I knew exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
You don't know, man. You weren't there.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know.
That moment, it's like she's spent that whole time with Harry absolutely convinced he's a faithful through and through.
Yeah.
So why, and then like Jazz, literally, even if Jazz had said it the day before and started putting those seeds in, like...
She probably would have sided with Harry.
I don't know, because I feel like it would have also maybe given Andrew a bit more time.
Yeah, I think, like, Ross was like, I'm going to, you know, take them down, blah, 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 and he really didn't do it. Whereas, like, Kieran in season 1 really got that coded message across well.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether the showrunners clamped down on that kind of thing.
Maybe.
Because, of course, all Kieran did was, my parting gift showed Wilf's name.
Yeah.
And Hannah was then sort of...
Like, what the fuck?
What the fuck? Why would he say that? Why would he say that? You know, and even Aaron clocked onto it. I think the only person who sort of didn't clock it was Meryl.
Yeah,
she was the one who chose to end the game, but both Meryl and Hannah... No, Aaron and Hannah chose to vote again.
Yeah.
So only Meryl was the one who was like, yep, like, let's finish the game. Whereas that coded message did get through to Hannah and Aaron.
Yeah.
Maybe they've clamped down on those kind of coded messages for this second season.
Maybe.
So, you know, so maybe when Ross was like, I'm going to go in and I'm going to take them down from within.
Because there was also, if I remember rightly, because I watched the first season when it first came out.
Yeah.
But if I remember rightly, the last round table was actually outside a fire pit.
Yes, but they couldn't do it this year because of the rain.
I didn't know that's why. Yeah. But also, there was like no conferring. And it was like very instant, where like this one, in the first season, I'm sure they were allowed to talk a little bit in between.
Yeah, because they had the round table, then they went, as they walked outside, they were sort of allowed to talk, whereas this one, because of the rain, it was all inside, I don't think they were allowed to talk. Kind of thing.
Which I think worked, because it was then very much like, you have to make that decision of your own mind.
But also, there was no conferring, and yet she said, is it you? And he went, no, that's conferring.
Yeah.
So, there's a little bit of cheating there.
A little bit.
But yeah, so that's my opinions on it.
But fair, I really enjoyed it. I think it's a very, very intelligent game. I think it's one of the best, or better, TV shows that have been, like, game TV shows that have been out in the last several years.
Yeah.
There isn't anything else like it. I think it's a very clever, very intelligent game. What?
You said there isn't anything like it. It's like there's the original Dutch version, there's the US version, there's the Australian version.
Yeah. But the US and the US and the Aussie one are after the UK, but obviously you have the original Dutch version.
Yeah.
But like, what I'm saying is, this is not the chase.
No.
You know, it's not the tipping point. It's not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, then bringing that back and things like that. They've tried to think of like something else, which I enjoyed. But yeah, right, that's Traitor Talk done. Let's talk movie talk.
Yes.
So we've just been to see Argylle.
Yeah.
Do you want to do your initial thoughts, or shall I go first?
You go first.
Right. I had a very good time. I enjoyed this film. I feel like since the first Kingsman movie, Matthew Vaughn has been trying to recapture that spark that made that movie that everybody loved.
He had a golden goose that laid a golden egg. Yeah.
But Kingsman 2, awful. The King's Man was very good.
Yeah.
Brought that back, but wasn't just as good.
But also, we were the minority in that. A lot of people didn't
like it. No, that's true. But also, I do feel like this movie is good. It's better than Kingsman 2. Personally, for me, I think it's like just behind the Kingsman, or kind of, depending on what mood I'm in, you could say it's on par.
Yeah.
But the Kingsman movie, the first one, with Eggsy being like initiated, is still his strongest movie of these kind of spy espionage movies that he's been doing.
Yeah.
Classic overuse of CGI.
Yeah. That's Matthew Vaughn, though.
But that is Matthew Vaughn. Our musical numbers, great. Loved the music in this movie. He has a bit of a penchant for using good songs.
Yeah.
I thought it was well acted as well, to be fair. Sam Rockwell did really well. Bryce Dallas Howard.
Carried the
He
film.
did. But he's such a good actor as well. But he's in so little.
Yeah.
He just picks and chooses what he wants to be in every now and
he
again.
has aged well.
He has. He's old now.
And yet he doesn't look it.
No, he doesn't. Obviously, I liked the use of the Argylle character, like Henry Cavill. I thought that was very clever.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I thought it was an enjoyable time. Let's put it this way: out of the last 5 or 6 movies we've been to see at the cinema, this is certainly the best one we've seen in a while. I wasn't sitting there and I wasn't bored. Let's put it that way. It did go on a little bit longer. Pacing, it could have been. This was another 2 hour and 20. It could have been 2 hours.
Yeah,
But overall, I thought it was a solid film. Ben, your thoughts?
It was all right. It was good. Yeah. Sam Rockwell carried the film.
Mm-hmm.
My problem is even when it started off, I just saw Zaphod Beetlebrox from Galaxy.
Yeah.
Even the mannerisms, he was just playing Zaphod.
Yeah, but I feel like he was like that in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
He was like that in Charlie's Angels. First Charlie's Angels. Yeah, it's just that's how you like dance in, dance on the spot, like a bit of Michael Jackson flicking the foot.
I think the film went on way too long. It just kept, you
twist after twist.
It wasn't even twist after twist because I saw the twist coming, the big twist. Saw that coming within the first 20 minutes.
Oh yeah.
But it was like, oh, big pop hole. It was more sort of you were this close to the resolution.
Yeah.
And they would add another step, and then you were this close to the resolution again, and they would add another step, and it was this close to the resolution.
Yeah.
I mean, another film, Lord of the Rings, the final film keeps doing that as well.
Yeah, it's got like 15
you're
endings.
so close to the ending, and then it carries on, and it's so close to the ending, and then it carries on. This film does the same.
Yeah, it does.
Correct me if I'm wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but Matthew Vaughn also did Kick-Ass.
He did the first.
So, out of the Kick-Ass series, the Kingsman series, and this series, I think this is his weakest series so far. I know it's only one film, but Kingsman and Kick-Ass I would prefer to watch again.
I would say...
Go on.
Only the first ones out of those series.
Yeah, his second ones are always quite weak, aren't they? Yeah.
So...
But, I mean, Kingsman 1, the original Kingsman with Taron Egerton, that is actually my all-time favourite film.
I bloody love that film. It is in my top 10.
It is my all-time favourite film, which I find so hilarious when people go like, oh, I guess I know what your favourite film is. I'm like, go on. They're like, it's one of the Harry Potters. I'm like, no, it's not actually. And they're so like, what do you mean it's not Harry Potter? It's like, well, the Harry Potters are all flawed,
Yeah.
Whereas the Kingsman is
beautiful. It is great.
So I agree with you that the Kingsman is way better than this one.
Yeah.
All well acted. He's. I'm just echoing what you were saying. He struck gold with the original Kingsman, and he's trying to recreate that.
Yeah.
With other stories from that comic book series. Like, I don't know who owns the rights to those comics.
Are the Argylle ones comics?
I don't know.
You mentioned it at the end of the cinema. I know the Kingsman ones
are comics.
Were based on that, and obviously Kick-Ass was as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is or not. Because in the trailers, it says, from the twisted mind of Matthew Vaughn. So I thought this was like an original idea.
Maybe.
It could be.
Could be. I just know the Kingsman was from comics.
Yeah.
And Kick-Ass was from comics, so I just assumed that Argylle was also from comics. But yeah, I don't know what else to say.
It's a book, not so Argylle is actually a book, not a comic.
Oh yes, my right way.
So Argylle was based on a spy book of the same name, which is supposedly written by a real life author named Ellie Conway, which is Bryce Dallas Howard's character.
Fair enough.
So that's interesting.
Yeah.
So he's obviously adapted it and tried to do something.
He's tried to knit it into his little Matthew Vaughn verse.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with.
Yeah, I've got no issue with it. Like I said, I enjoyed the film.
I enjoyed it. It was just sort of, all right, okay, come on then, come on.
Yeah, I do feel he could have shaved 20 minutes out of this
easily. And the resolution that we got was a bit weird and confusing. I don't know how to say it, without spoilers.
Yeah, it's difficult because
they were trying to do something to take down an evil corporation, but then I'm not going to say anything else because it is spoilers. But you know where I'm getting.
I know what you mean, and it's one of those things. I know that like they've said like it's also like I want to say like I don't think caricature is the right word, but it's like a piss take, but not a piss take of these kind of films.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
The Kingsman was a James Bond spoof.
Yeah.
But that one seemed to be a lot more grounded and realistic than this one. This one really took the parody and went with it.
Yeah, parody, that's the thing. I think this was supposed to be more of a OTT version of that kind of situation.
Oh, hello.
Someone's a bit drunk.
Yeah. On a Thursday as well, on a school night.
I'm jealous. Oh dear. Right. Let's do final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
If somebody tells you don't book in stuff on this day, don't book in stuff on this day.
Yeah. If you know that a live launch of a new system is happening that day, avoid.
Yeah, exactly.
A live new system on social media, a live new video game, a live new importing system. Just avoid it.
Yeah.
Give it 24 to 48 hours.
To sort itself out.
For other people to run into the bugs, not you.
Make your life easier.
Make your life easier. If Jesus does return, he's apparently going to come through my bedroom door at night.
Exactly.
That's where the second coming of Christ is going.
Oh my God, I'm going to dress like Jesus and let myself in your house.
I do sleep naked, so
that's
be warned.
Fine. I shall wear sunglasses. I should be like, peace out, Jesus.
Please bring a little T-Rex.
Traitors season 2.
He should have been caught. He should have been.
I mean, he could have been, but the game is the game is the game.
He played high risk, high reward, and he got rewarded for it.
Oh, he did.
Which is fair play to him. Yeah. But he should. If I had done the exact same moves he had done, it would have blown up in my face.
Yeah, I'd have been out.
I have no luck. If I had played it the same way he did it, and that's probably why I'm saying, we got lucky, because I know
if you did it,
if I did it, it just wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And Argylle, all right film.
Yeah, I think it was a good time at the cinema.
Yeah.
Considering what else we've watched lately, I think it's entertainment for everybody.
Don't go to watching it thinking it's going to blow your mind.
No.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't change anything. As we both said, we guessed the plot twist within 20 minutes.
Yeah. But sometimes it's just nice to sit there and watch a film
and turn your mind off.
And turn your mind off and enjoy the moment.
Yeah.
There was,
that does it.
Yeah, and there was bits where I was in stitches from laughing and things like that. I think there was...
Didn't have me in stitches.
My belly hurt.
I snorted a couple of times, but...
it was a good feature.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to see what he does with it.
Yes. I'm interested to see where he takes the Argylle world. But with that said, thank you very much for joining us. Have you seen Argylle? Did you watch Traitors season 2? If you did, let us know down below on your thoughts on all of them beautiful things. If you are joining us for the first time, like I said, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below. Say hi. Hi. And if you are listening to us on Spotify, give us a 5-star review and comment down below, for the love of God, please. With that being said, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.